Alright, hi guys, I'm excited to be doing this tune learning session. So here is a breakdown of the first tune we learned, which was the Humours of Glendart. So I'll play it a couple of times, once slow. This is a jig in the key of D. I'll play it 3 times. First time slow, second time a little faster but fairly unornamented, and then the third time how I might play it if I was playing in a session. While you're listening, listen for some patterns. This has a fairly common structure for an Irish jig, and see if you can find any little recurring phrases that happen and sort of get an idea of the melodic contour, so when the notes are going higher and when the notes are going lower. So here we are, Humours of Glendart. So that's the Humours of Glendart. So we'll take a few minutes and sort of break down both sections. So we'll start with the A part. If it helps, I've put words to the A part and they go, I don't know where Glendart is, but I'll still play the tune. Don't know where Glendart is, but I'll still play. I don't know where Glendart is, but I'll still play the tune. Maybe I'll find it and go there someday. So the nice thing about adding words is it gives you your brain, especially if you're new to learning tunes by ear, something a little bit more concrete to give it language, to give it these words. So it helps you out. Definitely use that if you prefer just to lilt it. That's a really good way to know, okay, I know where the tune is going. I have a sense of what's coming next. So that way when you're playing and practicing, you can know where the notes are correct when you're playing them and where the notes are incorrect when you're playing them. Alright, so we will start with the A section, and what we'll do is we'll take the first phrase and break it down slowly, and then we'll circle that first phrase a couple of times, and then we'll do that with each of the other phrases until we have the whole A part. So the first phrase starts with a pickup. The pickup is on an A, on a violin. A fiddle, it's on the open A string. So just listen to the first phrase once and notice the melodic contour. When does it go up and when does it go down? So it doesn't have a huge range. It's staying mostly on the A, and then it goes to the D string for a while, so it stays a little bit lower. If you notice, it starts by going up, and then it goes down. So it's circling around that A a little bit. And then if we keep going, it hits that low D. So if you're playing flute or whistle, that's all of your fingers down on all 6 holes covered on the flute or the whistle. So yeah, we'll take this little bit of the A section and just repeat it a few times. Feel free to turn your volume up and play along, or to play and listen. Another really great strategy is to finger and sing while you play, so you can get a sense, that tactile sense of where do my fingers need to move up and down to make these notes. So here we are, starting on the A with the pickup. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. So that little phrase you're going to hear come back actually several more times in the A part. So it's a really good anchor piece. If you get a little lost as we're playing the tune, it's that piece that you go, oh yeah, that's that part that keeps coming back several times. So we're going to add on, so that's the first half of the first phrase. We're going to add on to that first phrase here. And it has a little arpeggio that's coming up in there. So starting at the beginning, slow motion. What we just played, and this is new. So starting on an F sharp, this is the new part here. So if the word arpeggio means anything to you, it's a broken chord. Starting on D, F sharp, and A is how it ends. So we have a little F, E, F, and then the arpeggio. So listen to the whole first phrase played together, and then we'll circle it around a few times. Good, and that A that we ended on is actually going to be really important because it's the A that picks us up into the second phrase. So that note that we're playing is sort of the end of the first phrase and the start of the second phrase all in one note, so it's got a lot of responsibility. Let's take the whole first phrase and repeat it. We'll go about four or five times and just circle it around a few times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. actually learned half of the A part now. So the first phrase comes back again and is repeated verbatim for the third phrase. So listen to the whole A section and just see if you can hear both phrases, the first phrase and how it matches the first phrase. Here's the third phrase. So I hope you heard that the first and third phrase are matching. So let's try applying the first and third phrase together, and I'll stick in the second and fourth phrase. So you'll play what you know so far, then I'll play a little on my own, and then you join back in for the third phrase. I'll give you a little bit of a cue so you know what's coming. Here we go. First phrase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Second phrase. Here it comes. Yeah, did you get that? So we've learned half the A part already. Let's take a look at the second phrase then. You may have noticed as you were listening and as you're playing, the second phrase starts exactly like the first phrase, but then it has a little turnaround, so it's kind of a little bit of a question and answer feel in these tunes. That's a really common structure to find in Irish traditional tunes. So the first phrase, we borrow that first bit. This is the second phrase. Those notes are exactly the same as what we had in the first phrase. And then we're going to add on 4 little notes. So I just played F, E, D, E. Let's try those 4 notes slow motion together. Ready, go. Let's go one more time. F sharp, ready, go. Yeah, and then we'll take those and we'll put it on to the first half of the first phrase to create our new second phrase. So here we play the whole second phrase. You can listen once, or if you'd like to try it out on your instrument there, you're welcome to try it out. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did you get it? Let's circle that a couple more times. So probably about 4 times we'll circle that around. Ready, and... Ready, and... Ready, and... Last time, and... Great job. So we'll take these first 3 phrases, our first, second, and third phrase, and put them all together. Listen one time through, and I'll go ahead and tack that 4th phrase on there so you can start getting it into your ear. So notice when we get to the 4th phrase, it changes quite a lot. See if your ear can pick up any patterns that you might be familiar with on your instrument while you're listening or playing along. So the beginning, first phrase. Ready, and... First phrase. Here's the new phrase. part 4 times in a row, which typically it would be played twice in a row in this jig. It's a double jig. I will go ahead and add in that 4th phrase, because if you can hear it a couple of times, my bet is you'll have a pretty good idea of what the notes will be when we go to break it down. So we'll play the A section together 4 times in a row. 4, 5. So I hope that's going well for you. If not, take a minute and back up a little bit. It is okay to come through these tunes several times, often especially when we first start learning a tune by ear. It's like learning a new language, so it takes a little bit more time and it takes a little more effort. We're almost translating in our head what do we hear to what our fingers need to do to produce that sound. So feel free to back up if you need at any point. But we're going to keep going and learn the 4th phrase. And maybe as we were playing it a few times in a row, you notice that it jumps up to that high D, the top of our D scale. And it's almost a scale down, but it has a little skip there in the middle. So we're going to start on that high D. Listen one time. Has a little skip, so it skips the A and goes to the F sharp, and then has a little turnaround at the end. F, E, F, D, D, D. So we'll start on our high D, get ready to play. We'll skip the G on our way down. Ready, and. Skip to F sharp, and then turn around. Let's do that a couple more times. Ready, and. Ready, and. Ready, and. So now you have all of the phrases of the A section, and it's time to put them into the tune as a whole. So now that you have the whole A, all 4 sections in the A part, let's play through it. We'll play through it 4 times. The first 2 times we'll go under tempo, about the tempo we've been learning, and then the second 2 times we'll go and pick up the tempo and just see if we can give our fingers a little bit of a challenge. Here we are, the Humours of Glendart, the A part 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. whole A part of Humours of Glendart. Let's move on to the B section now. Alright, welcome to the B section of the Humours of Glendart. Listen through once and see if you notice anything in particular about this tune. So that was one time through the B section. Typically it will be played twice. You may have noticed that the last phrase of the B section is the same as the last phrase of the A section, which again is a really common pattern in Irish traditional music. You also may have noticed that the first, second, and third phrase, like in the A part, all start with the same melody, and that melody goes D, E, F, D, but starting in our higher octave. So why don't you go ahead, we're going to play through the B part one time, and just see if you can get that D, E, F, D on your instrument. So play it and just anchor those notes where they are in your mind. Here we go. Then listen. Listen. Play. And here's that fourth phrase, you know it, join in, ready, and. So it's really nice to have some spots to anchor to, like the fourth phrase lining up, like these little D, E, F, D sections that come back multiple times. So we'll take that first phrase now and we'll break down the rest of it. It starts on the D, E, F, D, as you know. Then it goes down. And it has a little pattern that goes A, F, so if we think of this in 6 beats, the groups that we're grouping the beats in groups of 6, the first 3 and the second 3 match. A, F, A, F, A. And then there's a little pickup to it. B, A, F, A, F, A. So let's try just that part there, starting on the B. Ready, and. Okay. And so we'll take our next step then is to put our whole first phrase together. The D, E, F, D, B, A, F, A, F, A. Ready, here we go. Let's do it a couple more times. Ready, and. 2 more times, and. Last time, and. Great, so our second phrase, as we said before, starts with the same D, E, F, D, but this time it stays up high. Listen to the second phrase once. So it does this little dance around the E, which is kind of nice. So the first 4 notes, you already know. The second part of this jumps back up to the F sharp, and these are all just neighboring notes. So we're going to take our F sharp and go down to the D, and then back up. Let's try that little phrase a couple of times. Ready, and. Ready, and. Let's put that with the first half of the second phrase. Ready, and. Same thing, one more time. Ready, and. The last two notes of this phrase create an arpeggio from that F sharp. So this is a B minor arpeggio, but starting at the top of the arpeggio. So it's F sharp, D, B. Let's just try those couple notes. Ready, go. Let's play the whole second phrase now. Ready, and. Two more times. Last time, and. We're ready to put the first and second phrase together now. So again, remember that those D, E, F, D are our anchor notes. If you get a little lost, try and grab those four notes, that little sequence from the beginning of the B section. Ready, and. How'd you do? Let's repeat it a couple more times. Two more times. Ready, and. Last time, and. Excellent. So now we are down to just the last middle, the third phrase in the B section, which actually you know 90% of already because it's a little variation on the first phrase. Listen to the first phrase. And then listen to the third phrase. So it's almost the same, but because we're getting ready for that fourth phrase scale with the D coming down, it does a little turn around. So instead of repeating the A, F, A, F, A, it takes that second pattern and brings it up. A, F, A, B, C, D. And that high D is what starts our fourth phrase. So let's give that third phrase a try, starting on the D, E, F, D. Ready, here we go. This is the same. Then we'll climb up. Same thing, ready, go. Last time, ready, go. Alright, we have all of the pieces of our B section puzzle now. So we will take a moment here and play through the B section, getting ready. The whole B section. If you'd like to listen one time to get all the pieces in the right spot, that's fine, or dive right in. Ready, and. you go. Nice job getting through the whole B part of Humours of Glendart. So we're ready to put the A part and the B part together. Since this is a double jig, we'll play each part through twice, and then at the end of the second B, we'll go back to the A and we'll play the whole entire tune. Let's go about 3 times around. So here we go. Not too fast, but not too slow either. Beginning. Remember, it starts, I don't know where Glendart is, that A-B-A-F-A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Congratulations, you've got the Humours of Glendart now in your tune repertoire. Again, feel free to go back and look at any of the sections of the video again if this is your first little while, or even if you've been learning by tune for a while. Sometimes if you've been learning in a different style of music, then this new style, it's again like that new language. It has different vocabulary words, different ways of phrasing and putting notes together. So definitely take the time, look at this video a second or third or fourth or fifth time, and get those notes under your fingers. The more you listen to this kind of music, the more you play this kind of music, obviously the easier it will be. So I definitely encourage you to keep going. So thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you at a session sometime. Bye!